Yes, 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 we're back, we're back, we're back. It is Tuesday evening, and you are listening to Soul Perspectives here on CKUT 90.3 FN. We are FM, not FN, FM. We are talking to Wakenya Kabuì Clewis, multifaceted, multi-talented entrepreneur, mother, Kenyan woman, tattoo model, and the list goes on. Really, just go and find her on all of the social media platforms because the list is quite extensive and quite interesting.
Thank you.
So before the break, we were talking about tattoos and all of that, and you also on your TikTok. Have to refer to your TikTok a lot because you have some really meaty, juicy discussions in 1 minute. So it's like,
Yes.
You spoke about Black Panther, and just to like, on our side, on the people who have been living in North America or not on the continent, we were super excited about that movie.
Yes.
But you have some ideas about that movie that are, how we say, unpopular opinions.
Also, this one was a very objective opinion.
Okay.
Which is why when someone got mad, I was like, did you listen to the whole video? Did you watch the whole video? So Black Panther, Kenyan perspective. On one hand, I loved where it was going. I loved Africa being shown as so rich. It almost took me to pre-colonial times.
Okay.
Before all our resources were stolen. Gold, diamonds, our people. But it was beautiful, flourishing. We were happy and just oblivious to, some Europeans somewhere who were headed our way to snatch us from ourselves, So that kind of is what it symbolized to me. And I love the fact that Lupita Nyong'o was in the cast. I mean, she's Kenyan, so that part of me was like, right? So there was that part. On the other hand, though, it's a fantasy world. People thought Wakanda was real. People used the Wakanda forever. That lasted a few months. And every time it happened, I would just cringe. Every time I met someone new and I said my name was Wakenya, and their reaction was, "Oh, Wakanda forever." And I'm like, no.
Okay. That's interesting. Because I still when I'm greeting my brothers, I'll still do a little, Wakanda forever.
And I get that. Like I said, it was more. I think it was targeted more toward African Americans, not Africans. Africans were like, nah, no. I mean, thank you for showing us in that light, but now we're still a bit salty.
Okay. Tell us, no, because like we had a show where, soon after the broadcast, where we brought in people who had different perspectives. We had people who really didn't like the film because they thought that T'Challa was a bit of a sellout. They were more siding with Eric Killmonger, and there was that layer of the conversation, right? So they were like, "Yeah, we need to go and take over," and da. And I was like, so we had a bit of a debate on that,
right?
But I haven't had the privilege of speaking to people, especially people from the continent, who were like, let's just bring that back a little bit because we're not liking that.
But you see, Black Panther is a comic. So on one hand, and that's why you see me making a comparison between Black Panther and Black is King. Because I'm like, Black Panther is a comic. They could make it whatever they want to make it. But even then, someone made a very good point on my TikTok. I was like, I love you, thank you. They said even in Superman, he lives in New York. They still show buildings in New York. Even if it's a fantasy film, even if it's a comic, they still show New York for what it is.
Well, he lives in a fictional place called Metropolis, but it's technically New York. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, why can't they do the same thing in Africa?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And not all these CG buildings.
Yes. Thank you. We have so much rich architecture. I think that's what surprises most people is when they go and visit an African, I want to say South Africa or Kenya, and they look at the skyline and they look at the buildings, they're like, wow. And I'm like, you see, this is why we get pissed off when we're misrepresented on TV, because
Right.
they're not used to this magnificent amazingness, you know? So why not celebrate what we have?
Mm-hmm.
You can go ahead and get it out of proportion if you want. I don't care. Go to Nairobi, pick a building, and then add some razzmatazz to it for the film, but
Right.
use a building that's actually there.
Razzmatazz.
You know what I'm saying? There's a way
Add
to
some
do
of the
it.
symbols, the
You know,
Wakandan
and,
symbols,
you
right?
know, make it 4D or whatever they're doing now, some CGI stuff, but make it there.
Right. Do it for
So
real.
there's right, exactly. So like, did you watch the movie Inception?
Yes.
So there's this part where it's supposed to be shot in Lamu. Someone even speaks Swahili.
Right.
In one of the scenes.
Right.
They did not do the movie in Lamu. Lamu is a coastal town in Kenya.
Right.
So I'm like, you guys have this budget. It doesn't cost that much to get on a flight with a bunch of camera people and the actors,
Mm-hmm.
go to Kenya. If the movie is about a Kenyan scene, go there, pay the city, whatever they need to be paid to book a space, do it there, spend 3-4 days, and then go on safari and actually enjoy our beautiful land, and then fly back.
Okay.
But they do whatever is easier for them. We'll just do we'll go a little town that kind of looks like Lamu, but is not actually in Lamu because it's closer to us and it's less of a hassle.
Right.
And then they wonder why I'm catching feelings and getting upset.
Right. So
Yes.
yeah, that's interesting. Like because as black folk, right? We're just like, yo, we finally get like a beautiful representation, but it's
I
like,
know.
is it enough? And like, are we just being placated? You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, hey, look, you finally have a black superhero. And it's like, yeah, we're super excited, but then we have to think even further than that, right?
Exactly. And that's exactly, someone actually used this on me. I was like, really, you're gonna go there? He said, he's like, I don't understand why Africans don't like black is king. It's showing us as a united front. Don't you want to be united? I'm like, now we are speaking beans and potatoes. Like, we're not talking about the same thing here.
Right.
We don't mind being united as Africans. That's fine. But at the same time, do you know how diverse we are? We are not the United States of Africa, like the United States of America.
Right.
I don't think there's going to be a day, sorry to be the bad guy, that Africa is going to be a United States of Africa. It cannot, it's not viable.
Okay.
And again, one of the videos I also addressed this. I'm like, the GDPs are different.
Right.
Even the currencies are different. Our cultures are too diverse to bundle us up into. Like, that's not going to work.
And it's not
In
even
America,
only because of colonialization. It's each country was already different before colonialization.
Exactly.
Colonialization compounded the problem
Yes.
in different ways in different countries. But
yes, correct.
you know, how can you have like I remember way back in the day, and I don't even know if this was really a thing, but someone had made a T-shirt, and I'm contemplating it's United States of Africa, and it was a flag with like the similar to the American flag, obviously, and it had red, green, and yellow stripes, and the box had like Africa and like had 54 small Africas. And like that like to me is like, oh, I'd really love to do that. But like speaking to you, and it's like, no, that's
exactly.
it's not
I'm
quite.
glad you're seeing it now. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. Like I said, there are similarities, which is why if you see the one of the videos I made about the way we celebrate the ululation,
Yes.
I was so pleasantly surprised at the comments I received because people from South Africa were saying they do it. You know, Zambia, Uganda, everywhere. Like, that one thing we have in common. I was like, oh, wow. Hello, you know?
But I really enjoyed that video because I follow quite a few other TikTokers who are from New Zealand, from the Polynesian Islands, and they all have their own version of that. And and I think about indigenous folks here, native folks here, they have their own version of that as well. And like for me, I see this through line that is connecting everybody, especially native people worldwide from different continents. And it's like Well, all y'all are actually
It's
from
amazing.
Africa because if Africa
Yes,
is where
we
everybody
are.
came from, and if you look at, I remember there was like a video of people from different regions of Africa, and we have folks that are as dark as night and as white as snow, and they're
Yep.
all African people.
Mm-hmm.
And you have folks that look extremely like prototypical African, and then you have folks
Right.
that look Asian, but they're African.
Yes, but the African, it's mind-boggling. Yes.
It's I don't know. It's a fascinating subject to me.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you see my viewpoint on Black Panther. So there you go. And I'm like, it's not all bad. I'm like, I didn't hate it. I'm just saying.
We need to take it a step further.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
It's like every time we reach a certain level of, I guess you could call it comfort, people want to stay there and be satisfied with that and not want to take another step up. It's like, okay, we have Black Panther, and that's good. You did your research. You went to the different countries. You had the River Tribe has the blue things from this country, and the headdress for the queen was from that country. Okay, now let's start. The next time you do Black Panther, do it in an actual African country.
Yes, and hire African actors, and let them also participate in the conceptualization of the film. Not just, oh, we're gonna hire you, but you're gonna say exactly what to tell you to say. No. What would you say in this situation as an African person, as a Ghanaian? Because again, there are those nuances people don't understand. Like I said, even in Kenya, we are so diverse. A Nairobi person, the way they speak Swahili, is not the same way someone from Mombasa will speak Swahili. I, as a Nairobian, will go to Mombasa and they'll once my mouth opens and I speak Swahili, they'll be like, "You're from Nairobi, aren't you?"
Yeah.
How did you tell? And the same thing the other way around. They come to Nairobi, they're like, Nipe. I'm like, Mombasa. Are you from the coast somewhere? Gotcha.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing for me as a Haitian, because I haven't been back to Haiti in 20 years now.
Oh,
and
wow.
if I go back to Haiti now, even though I speak Creole, they'll be like, "Où sont blancs?" you're a foreigner. You're not from here, because
exactly.
Not only is my voice and my accent different, but I'm not gonna know the evolution of the language as well.
Thank you. Language evolves. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Yes. I love seeing the through. Again, it comes back to that through line. Like, no matter how far you travel or how ripped away your ancestors have been from whatever your country is,
yes,
you still retain some essence of it. And I mean, language evolution, like Creole is a language that evolved out of the French and the African intermingling together, but it is continuously evolving. So there are terms from way back when that my grandmother would tell me when I would go and visit her, and she would say this expression. I've never heard that expression before. You know? And then there are things that I would probably say that she's like, what is that? And I'm like, well, this is the new way of saying X
it's
or
the
Y.
millennial version.
Right.
Right. That is really true. Yep.
Yeah. So we are here with Wakenya Kabuì Clewis, and talking about a lot of things. Really excited to be talking about, to have a person from the continent of Africa, from Kenya specifically, speaking to us right here on Soul Perspectives. We're going to take a little break and come back. Keep it locked. You are listening to Soul Perspectives here on CKUT 90.3 FM.